Come on into the room. Welcome, welcome, y'all. Feel free to put your cameras on so we can all see you and let us know where you are joining us from. Hey, Raphael. Hey, Donna. Yeah. So you guys, it's really awesome. We were kind of having a quick chat before, and we had 20 people in the waiting room, and that is so awesome. And guess what? Only people who are at the Vision Board Experience are actually in this room. So please understand that as you guys are looking around, these are people who are going to be in the space with you on January 7th. How many of you are looking forward to the Vision Board Experience Day 2? Because this is Day 1. But how many of you are really, really excited about showing up in all your full glory, in all your full splendor? Yes, Rafi's like, yes. And yes, gentlemen, we have men. There are 10 men coming to the Vision Board Experience. And y'all are gonna have your own experience. So ladies, please don't get jealous. But I celebrate when men step into the space, but really excited. So thank you all for jumping on. But recognize that this is Day 1. And one of the reasons why this is Day 1 is before we can actually get into actually crafting and creating your Vision Board Experience, you have to know your why about creating a vision board. And there is no one in the world that I would have or ask to join me in this journey of sharing the power and the story of vision boarding than my friend, my colleague, my business coaching colleague, like we are in a mentorship together. But more importantly, a business growth coach for entrepreneurs and freelancers out of the beautiful space of England, London, but I've traveled all over the world speaking to individuals and helping them get in their mindset correct about how they lean into their business growth. But I think, Mel, one of the things that's really important for me is how you help people to lean into their own personal growth around the things that they want to do. And this is why I wanted to invite you into this space so we could actually have a conversation about the power of doing a vision board, because I know you believe in them as a business growth coach. This is not airy-fairy. This is the things that you do. So let's go ahead, sparkle fingers for those who are flowers to me, for Miss Mel Larsen. Welcome, welcome, Mel. She is going to be with y'all for at least another 30, 35 minutes. This is a great way for us to get into that cycle before January 7th. So welcome, Mel.
Oh, thank you, Dr. J. Thank you for that beautiful, beautiful introduction. And I just can only echo what you've said. I adore you. And more importantly, I respect the work you do and the integrity, commitment, and wisdom you bring to everything you do. So it's very exciting. It's a real honor for me to be here in your space.
Thank you, Mel. And I just want you all to know this is like part 2, because we did this last year. We had like 60 people. Mel did a vision board experience the same day I was doing a vision board experience, and we got an opportunity to share with each other's community. I know Donna was there. It was an awesome experience for those who went last year. So Mel, let's jump into it. And the first question that I want to go ahead and pose to the individuals who all jumped on, y'all, we got 33 people out of 54 people. That's how many people are on in the vision board experience. That's big for Day 1. Just go ahead and put your why. Why in 2024 do you want to create a vision board? What's your why? And if I had to spell it out a different way, what happened yesterday that is helping you make a decision to look at using a vision board to get the things that you want for your future? So let's go ahead and put it in the chat. What's your why? And if you want to unmute really quickly, you can do that. Sure. Janelle says, need a map and guide to chart 2024. Love that. Clear execution. Shannon. Y'all put on cameras. We love to see cameras. We love to see people's faces. My legacy is at stake. Oh, I love that, Miss Melinda. Hey, John. Let's get a row of all the men that are here. The possibility and potential of being better and having abundance. So I love those. Rafi says 2024 has to be planned and abundant in all areas. Goals have to be achieved. I love that. And I love that part, Rafi. It has to be planned. And I think that's one of the points that Mel and I are going to touch on. The importance of planning the things that you want to happen. And not only thinking about how you're going to do it, but because it's so visual, it becomes a real experience. So Mel, I'm going to segue into you so we can get into the space of you talking about the power of telling your story and your vision on a vision board. And then hopefully we'll be able to take one or two questions as well too. So you know.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Okay, so I have some slides. So I'm going to start off by just doing some talking about vision boards, how I use them, and then let's see where that takes us. So let's see if I can share my screen, first of all. Love looking at those who shared in the chat, by the way, to see what's important to you. So let's just get this going. All right, just give me a wave or a nod, thumbs up if those slides are showing okay for you. Thank you. Okay, vision board power. So I fully believe in vision boards. Neuroscientists back me up because just as Dr. J was saying, it goes beyond the goals and the results and blah, 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 you know, like the ideas we have. It's like, it's right inside of us. This is the power of a vision board. It comes from the heart, it comes from the gut. And, you know, it's been said something like, I don't know, 80% of our decisions are from the subconscious mind. I may have got that statistic wrong, but it's like a high percentage. We think the rational mind has it all under control. The rational mind is great for the planning part, great for the strategy, but all great results come from the heart, the gut, the vision. If we don't really want it, guess what? It's not going to happen. So it's really important to tune into what makes my heart sing? What have I dreamt of since I was a child? What are the dreams that I left behind that I think are too big for me, too bold? What would really light me up this year? That's the way to dive into this and like really trust your dream. And I'm not making this up, by the way, I'm living this, okay? So here are some of my vision boards that I've created over the years. And even as I flash this slide up, I feel a sense of joy because every single one represents something powerful that's happened in my life. So I'm just going to talk you through some of them. Dr. J, if I take too long, you will stop me, I hope.
You're good.
I'm going to take about 10 minutes to talk through this. Okay, so through the whole set of slides, not just this. So on the top, I don't know if you can see my cursor here. I'm just going to talk you through some quick stories. On the top left here, you can see this vision board that has people on it and the word 6. And by the way, anyone who's like, what is a vision board? I'm sure Dr. J has walked you through it all, but you know, it's essentially in its most basic form, a collage that represents your dreams, your big dreams. And I wanted to fill a coaching program that I had. I'm a business coach and I was finding it really hard. This was years and years ago, before I had built up my networks, and it was just really, really tough. And I really wanted to give up, but giving up was actually not an option at that point. So, I mean, it's never really an option, is it? But right then, it really wasn't an option at all, financially, emotionally, in terms of my integrity. So I created this vision board. I was at my wit's end. I was like, well, I might as well try it. You know, I was using vision boards for other things. I hadn't used it for sales. And I was like, I've tried everything. I don't even know if this is going to work. So I created like this vision board of 6 people that I really wanted to work with. And I remember even as I was creating that vision board, I felt pretty cynical. So sometimes when we create a vision board, it's not always love and light. It can bring up the cynicism in us, the kind of part of us that wants to give up, right? So you have to watch out for those feelings sometimes when we're like touching on our dreams, and just keep going, because there's something much bigger that wants to speak through us. To cut a long story short, I found those 6 people who paid several £1,000s to be in this program with me. And I never looked back, because I realized how magical our ability to visualize the future is. And we have to watch out for, when we dream, the dream can seem like this huge mountain that we are not fit enough to climb, and it can make us huff and puff. We can feel exhausted. We can feel daunted when we look up and see the skyline. And just remember that every time we go towards a big dream, at the beginning, it can feel immense. And it's really important to be prepared for that feeling and keep going. And this vision board helped me to keep going. I'm not going to talk through all of these, but that was a really big turning point for me. So as I'm talking, what I want you to do is really think about that really precious dream, like why you're working with Dr. J. There's going to be a reason that called you to work with this fabulous human being who is definitely going to guide you to this incredible space, right? There's a reason you're here. Really tune into that, so that what I'm saying isn't just conceptual or academic to you, it's real to you and what you want. So that one is very special to me. The one below it is about money. I'm not focusing so much on money right now, but there was a time when I really, really needed to, because resources were tight. And again, it felt like a mountain. I just felt like every time I attracted money, it slipped through my fingers. And I needed to do a series of vision boards to help me recognize my relationship with money and start to change it. And one of the things I remember about making this vision board was, you can see there's all these succulents here and a peacock, and there's like a lot going on in this when I really look at it. And the peacock thing, when I looked and I thought, why is a peacock there? It's like there's 2 sides to this symbol that's come from my subconscious mind. One side is like, to have money is to be a show off, and it's crude, it's shallow, and there was like a feeling of shame about wanting wealth. But the other side was luxury, beauty, being able to have time in nature. And I remember when I made this vision board, I thought, no one must ever see this ever, because it's too shameful. Like, to want money feels really bad. And guess what? Here I am sharing it with all of you. And also, guess what? Not to boast, but my income has just increased by a vast amount since I created that. So vision boards can take you into a space of learning. It's not just about your goals. It's like what you learn on the journey and who you need to become to fulfill on your dream. I'm just going to talk about one more on here. I mean, I could spend all day talking about these and the lessons these vision boards taught me, like my own subconscious mind taught me. But this one on the top right is really special too, because there was a time when I was very stuck with my business, and I just ran out of ideas and inspiration. I was like, I don't know what to do next. I don't know what products. I don't know where to go. It feels stuck. And I thought, I need ideas. And it's not like me to not have ideas. So I knew I was stuck. So I created a vision board about having ideas. So some of you might be here thinking, I don't know what my goal is really yet. If you feel like that, the best thing to do is start with how you want to feel, right? And then the detail will come later. Start with how we want to feel, because that's all we ever want, all of us, really, is feelings that guide us to achieve things. And one of the things I wanted was to feel inspired and have ideas. So I was like, how do you represent an idea on a vision board? I don't even know what that means. So I just gathered these images that made me think about neurons firing in the brain, ideas. And within 2 weeks, I had so many business ideas, so many income generation ideas, so many product ideas. I had just an abundance of ideas. So I definitely wasn't stuck anymore. You know what? As I'm talking, I would love if you would put in the chat what this is making you think of, so that I can interact with you a little bit. So you can ask questions, you can comment, you can say, right on, Mel, or I don't agree with you, Mel, whatever you want to say. I welcome it all, so that I know I'm not speaking to myself, you know, because I can see my slides, I can't really see you right now, and I'm an interactor. I like to connect with people. Michelle is saying spot on. Thank you, Michelle. That's
Can
really
you
cool.
cover the one with the words? Because I know this one is special too. And
Okay, sure.
specifically about the words, because you know, people always want to put too much words on a vision board.
Yes, thank you. Absolutely. So like there's lots of theories about vision boards, you know, like some people are purists, no words. Some people want to add words. I think it's fine, whatever lights you up. But I do agree that if you have way too many words, it's actually too confusing for your brain. And vision boards are really about like having this clear light source, clarity. So the less cluttered, the better in many ways, you know, and you're really looking for this kind of strong feeling that emanates from it. So what do you mean this one that with the word love on
Yeah,
it, Dr. J?
yeah,
Yeah.
because you could tell those words are very specific to the growth, but
Yes. Well, this is actually about my relationship to selling. And because for me, selling is an invitation. I don't know how many of you are entrepreneurs here. I'm guessing some not. But if you have a job, this still applies because you're an intrapreneur, right? You're a leader in your own right, whatever your role is. And if you're an entrepreneur, you know, you're an entrepreneur. So I wanted to change my relationship from to selling from one of fear and shame to one of joy and beauty and service. Because really to grow, whether an intrapreneur or an entrepreneur, it's all about adding value. And so I wanted to create this framework for selling that felt spiritual, felt that reflected what I was offering people, which was guidance. So you can see at the bottom, it says, walk with me. So I'm not like, buy my stuff. You know, I'm like, come walk with me. See what I can show you. See what you can do. That is much more exciting than saying, hey, I've got to make another sale today. That doesn't light me up at all. This is about the human heart. This is about dreams. And then, you know, believe in yourself. When I'm on a call with someone who's wondering whether to work with me, what I'm really looking for is for them to choose themselves. They're not really choosing me. You didn't really choose Dr. J in this program. You chose your program. She's a light source that you felt drawn towards for very good reason. So it's like you're choosing yourself. And then I'm inviting people to meet the future, to expand their mind. The inner cleanse is all about releasing the mental blocks and limitations that we all put on ourselves. So I really, you know what, looking at these, I'm going to get these framed, Dr. J, because they just make me happy. I'm feeling the happiness looking at them because this is the best of me. This is like the best of my insides right in front of you now. Because I'm not like this all the time. You know, ask my husband. There's another side to me, but this is the best of me, and I need to be reminded of the best of me. Let me just see what's in the chat. Marita agreed, revisualizing how we want to feel. Yeah, the feelings are the engine. Melinda, right on, Mel. Thank you, Melinda. Glad it's giving you value. Jessica, connecting with more ideas and having them happen. Yeah. So it doesn't matter what you're dealing with, a vision board can help you move forward with it. So I'm just going to say a bit more about that. So the power of creating your vision board. So I'm just going to talk about some different ways that you can use a vision board, right? So the obvious one is to connect with your big dream. You know, I had that big dream of taking my business into six figures and then beyond. I had that big dream of having enough money eventually to own my own home, which I'm telling you, both of those goals seemed impossible when I first stated them. So I really want to say, by the way, you can do it. If I can do it, if I can, some of the stuff I've achieved, I still look back and think, how did that happen? Right? I trusted my vision and I worked with my vision board. So connecting with the big dream is the big one, the way that most people will use a vision board. There's also, you can visualize your project, right? If you have like a sub goal, like if you have an event or like, you know, you want to buy a house or you want to get fit, you want to develop your health, you want to develop your leadership, you can visualize that. You can create a vision board about a specific project. It might be a 3-month project, a year-long project, a 5-year project. So you don't have to just have one vision board for the year. You can have vision boards for anything. Finding pathways and solutions. Remember the ideas vision board. You can use it to address blocks. So remember the money vision board I did. I also did like a negative vision board. It's kind of like an exploring board. So I did one around money where I was like, why am I wasting money? Why do I never have savings? Like, what is going on in my head? Because I can't get a hold of it. And so I did a vision board about all my negative thoughts about money. And that was really powerful, actually, because I realized the root of it was a religious block, something I'd been taught as a child that I was still bringing a child's understanding to. And so I started to see all the stories I had about money that were negative, were preventing me from relating to money as a resource, relating to money as a powerful, empowered adult. So it can help you find what's missing. So it's almost like the opposite of a vision board. I haven't worked out what to call that yet. I always call them negative vision boards. So you could do like, if you want to create a vision board for your best year ever, you could also create one for your worst year ever. And I'm telling you, when you look at that, you're going to get into action because you're like, I don't want that. I don't want that worst year ever. I want the best year. So just what I've been talking about is like overcome blocks. So pathways and solutions is kind of more specific, like looking for answers. And I'm going to show you in a minute how to do that. And overcoming blocks is what I've just been talking about, like working through the limiting beliefs that it may be hard to articulate verbally, but can come out through images. And you can also, as I remember the vision board with the 6 people on it, you can use it to call in your dream clients or dream partners or dream boss by visualizing, not really the exact people, that would be crazy, but the kind of feeling, the kind of people, clients that you want to call into you. So you can use it in many different ways. By the way, I'm giving you a sneak peek of my book because I'm writing a book about all this. So nobody else has seen this yet. And the book goes into more detail. So you heard it here first. Then you can learn from your vision board. Hang on, I feel like I've skipped a slide here. What's going on here? Or maybe I swapped the slides around. Let me just see. Yeah, I want to talk about this one first. There's 2 more slides to go, Dr. J, so tell me if I'm okay with
No,
time.
you're good on camera, and I understand.
Okay, great.
Mhm.
So when you've done your vision board, just some ideas on what to do with it to get the maximum power from it. I'm going to give you like 2 ideas. This is like the first level. You want to look at it every day. You want to put it somewhere where you see it every day because remember what I was saying, most of our decisions, our choices in life come from our subconscious mind. We are not 100% aware of why we're doing things, what's driving us. You can work to become more aware of it. But if you've been really honoring something that makes your heart glow and you create your vision board, even if it scares you, and you start looking at it every day, it's going to like get you thinking, get your subconscious mind will work to close the gap between where you are now and where you want to be. So looking at it every day will remind you, oh yeah, I want that new job, or I'm really committed to getting fit. If you're looking at a vision board that has a picture of someone who's like doing yoga, running, eating healthily, it's going to remind you every day, yeah, this is what I want. Meditate on it. Okay, meditation is really powerful for any goals. What I mean by this is there's different ways to do this, right? You could have it by your bed. I tend to have mine in my office, but you can have it by your bed just before you go to sleep. Look at it, close your eyes, fill every cell with joy or peace or adventure, whatever it is you want, and really think about it, explore, open your eyes, look at it. However you want to do it, you might look at it once and close your eyes for 10 minutes, or you might keep looking, thinking with your eyes closed, see where it takes you. In other words, engage with this thing. It isn't a one-time thing. Attach it to a daily habit. So if you like dancing, you could be looking at it and have a little happy dance that you do, for your fitness in the morning. Or you might, like I do this thing at the moment with kettlebells. I do it like almost every day, and Dr. J's happy about that because that was a promise I made to Dr. J last year, right? So when I make a promise to Dr. J, you better watch out, right? Because I'm not going to not do that promise with someone with such high integrity, right? Because I know she's going to be watching me. So I do this thing with my kettlebell, it's like a weight that I hold up. I don't look at my vision board when I do that, but I could be like, that would be an example of how I might use it. Or it might be that I like to have a hot bath occasionally because I live in London, which is usually freezing cold. I could have like my vision board in front of me while I'm relaxing. When I'm in the bath, actually, it's a very powerful time, or showering. Obviously, you'd have to waterproof it, to just, my mind goes into a different state, and I'm much more likely to come up with ideas and solutions and strategies when I'm looking at the vision board or thinking about it. Dialogue with it. I'm going to talk a bit more about this in a minute, but it's like literally you can look at it and say, what have you got for me today? Or what does this mean? Or, almost like talk to yourself. You can write about what you see. That's a form of dialogue with it. I'm going to go into that in more detail in a minute, so I won't say too much about that. And you can discuss it, right? Like you may be doing that when you're working with Dr. J. You might have groups, you might have friends or buddies that you can get out your vision board, people you trust, and talk about, hey, this is my vision. It makes me feel this way. And they might say what they see in it. They might share theirs. It brings it alive because, there's something about our brains that really respond well to talking, to language, to movement, those kind of things. So we're like interacting with this piece of paper that really represents our insides. And the more we bring it out into the real world through movement and talk, it becomes real, it becomes realer. And, when we're talking or when we're moving, there's something in our brain that's like, okay, this is serious, right? This isn't a passing thought. We need to pay attention to this. So working with your vision board in this way is really powerful. So then the final piece I want to say, I have to go backwards through this now, is learning from your vision board. This is one of my favorite things to do. And we're not going to do this right now, but I just want you to maybe take a photograph or screenshot this. You can do it in your own time, is to make some time to try this intuition and ideas exercise. I love doing this. It's so powerful. So you look at your vision board, then you grab pen and paper. It's better to use pen and paper. You can use laptop if you have to, but there's something about brain to hand with this that's more powerful. List exactly what you see in the vision board. So it might be flower. I see a flower, the sea, woman dancing, a honeycomb, bees. So you're just writing those things down. So that gets you present to, what do I actually put on this piece of card or piece of paper? You may feel sometimes that you have pulled images out of a magazine or off a digital resource at random. It's never at random. I'm telling you, our visual mind works like this. It's fast. You will look at those images and you'll be amazed at what you pull out. I find that over time, I sometimes pull the same image and it has the same meaning. I think it's different, but it's like this symbol. So then one thing you can do is write a poem or a piece of prose based on what you're seeing, or what maybe you might hear something in your mind, or you might have certain feelings. Trust it. Don't try and write the greatest poem in the world. It's not about that. It's about letting the creative part of you speak, because the subconscious mind is not logical. It speaks using the language of intuition, ideas, synchronicity. It uses flowery language. It uses the irrational. So let it flow, write it down. Then look at it to see, what is this telling me? What does this poem or piece of writing tell me? Analyze it. If you're more of an analytical thinker, analyze it. If you're more of a feeler, feel for, like this has messages for me. What is it? What's the insight it's giving me? If it feels safe to do so, you can ask other people, what do they see in it? And a powerful thing to do is keep going back to it for new insights, because what you see in it on one day might be very different to a week later. You'll be in a different frame of mind. You have more distance from it. Sometimes I have done vision boards that make no sense to me at all, because I'm still learning the language of my own inner world, a bit like our dreams, trying to interpret our dreams. But we all have recurring dreams, right? There's things that come back again and again. That's no accident. A vision board is like dreaming in the physical world. So look at it and see what it's telling you, keep going back to it. And I promise you, you will find utter magic in there. You'll find answers, you'll find things, you'll learn stuff about yourself that you didn't know. So let me just see, I'm winding up now. Let me just see what's in the chat, if there's anything else. Shireen is saying, I also do my visual board digitally on Canva. Canvas, I think you mean Canva maybe. So that's the first thing. Yeah, when I look at my phone and tablet. Yes, Shireen, it's brilliant to have that on your digital devices because we're picking those things up all the time. So that's very smart. And I love Canva. I have to get off Canva because I can easily lose hours on there. I think it's such an amazing app. So I've done that relatively quickly, thrown up a lot of things for you to think about. I'm going to hand you back to Dr. J and for her guidance into what we will do with all of that and what's next. Thank you for your listening and participation.
All right. Thanks, Mel. Go ahead and put in the chat. Let's send some love to Mel. And I'm going to open up for questions because I also want us to get an opportunity for those who are curious and want to take a little deeper dive. We have about 15 minutes left. But I wanna come in and just talk on the back end of the size of your vision board, because I noticed this last year when we were working together, that you use a smaller component. And that's one of the things that I'm doing a little different. And I just want you to talk a little bit about the importance of making your vision very plain and very specific when you're really trying to level up, as opposed to having a very big vision board, especially, and this is specifically for people who want either done a vision board already, or two, the ones who are like, okay, like, I don't know what I want, but then there's really something that they really want to dream on, and having too big of a vision board could actually stop them from really focusing and purposing. So can you share a little bit about that and why you use smaller vision boards than the larger vision boards?
Gosh, that's such a good question. Thanks everyone, by the way, for the feedback in the chat. Glad you're getting value. I just like doing smaller vision boards. I think it's good to have big ones, you know, because you can get immersed in them. It's just, I think it becomes like this giant task, you know, and I just like to have it be portable. I can take it from my office up to the bedroom if I want to look at it before I go to sleep. I can do it quickly. I'm not against big vision boards. They just take longer to do. You know, it's just how, I mean, I remember doing a course over 20 years ago where literally there was a room of 200 people who created a joint vision board. Can you imagine? And it was huge and it was fun. And sometimes when I work with large organizations, because a lot of the time I'm working with solopreneurs or small teams, but when I'm working with organizations, there might be 30, 40, 50 people in the room. I will ask them to create a vision board together, like bring 1 or 2 images or pick 3 and choose and talk about them. You know, then it's going to be a much bigger vision board. That was a long answer. I just like easy and compact, you know?
So Diana is asking, can you define what is a big and what is small? And I could go like, so Mel has these, if you think of canvas size paintings, so if you were doing a paint and sip, that would be the size of a small, but I see it as more as a compact, very specific board. And then the canvas, the large ones that would usually be on walls would be the normal size of a vision board, where people have very big. And so it's interesting because I saw that with you last year, Mel, when you did yours and presenting it, the smaller one as one of the most, it can be very impactful for people who really know where they're going. Yes. And it also could be very impactful for people who don't know where they're going and want to start in some small bite-sized chunks so they can see that they're actually getting the things that they need to do on a day-to-day basis done.
Yeah, I love that actually. I hadn't really thought about it in that way. So I think it can be less overwhelming if you're just starting out. But, you know, really, whatever size you choose is fine, you know, if it works for you.
All right, any questions for Mel, y'all? Y'all have her here. We have a couple more minutes and then we are going to let you guys nip off. We'll do one quick exercise where we put y'all in breakout rooms so you can get to meet each other because we got 40 people on, y'all. That's big for day one, and it's 50 plus people come in. So we only missing like 10 people, 10 to 15 people, which is really, really good. So Mel, can you put back up the slide? There was a slide that you had that I want to do a little breakout room. And it was after the power of the vision boards. So, right, the power of creating your vision boards. And what I want y'all to do as we are getting to wrap up, I want you to choose one of these areas, or just think about when you are tapping into writing this vision, because we're gonna write it first, y'all. We're gonna write our goals first, and we're gonna write our vision, and we're gonna write our mission. So we do write it, and then we're gonna look at creating. Which out of these 5 are you really looking forward to do on the 7th? Yeah. Which one of these 5? And that's a very good question that Raymond is asking. You want to take that question? What are the ideal amounts of items that should be on a vision board?
Hi, Raymond. Great question. First of all, look, there's no rules around vision boards, generally speaking. There are some things that tend to work better than others, in my opinion. So I don't want to restrict anyone, but I tend to feel that not having it be too cluttered really works well. So if I just flick back to my vision boards, sorry, I have to go all the way back. You'll see that they're not overcrowded. Like this ideas one, there's really only 1, 2, 3, 4 images, but this 5 really, because this yellow thing I overlaid. 6, I added that eye. But really, when you look at it, it feels like there's like 3 main areas, and it's easy to take in. It's not overwhelming. You want to kind of think of it as like a movie. And when you're watching a TV program, you're watching Netflix, you're watching a movie, when there's a lot of action on the screen, it can be exciting, but it can be hard to work out what's going on, too many characters. So I would say you want to have a sense of clarity and a kind of singular pull towards something. Like if it's too many things, it can feel overwhelming. But having said that, if you were like, I want an exciting life and I want it all, fill your boots, like have lots of things going on. So my preference is not too much going on, so that the other way of thinking about it is not so much like a movie, like a poster that's advertising something, right? That's a better example, actually, so that it's really getting you to focus in on something that is important to you, but not focusing like a goal, because a goal is measurable, it's highly specific. This is more about feelings. Okay, so if you have too many feelings going on, we all know what that feels like. It feels crazy. Oh, and then there's some sharing happening in the chats from that last question. So let me go back to that other slide again. So you've got all that in front of you.
Yeah, and to add that last Raymond, when we're doing it on Sunday, I get very specific based on the balance wheel. And normally I would ask you to do 3, but this year I'm going to ask you to think about 2 main areas in that balance wheel that you want to do some work around for 2024. And what that gives you an opportunity to do, and it's not that you're not going to do anything for the other 8 areas, but what I found that works best when people are trying to envision a life that they want is making sure that they have the muscle and the strength to lean into the thing that they say they want to do. And so when you have too many things on it, it could be like, oh, I said I'm going to do this, and oh, I said it. But if you know that these 2 things are the things that get the most of your attention, what becomes very interesting, if you do all the other stuff behind it, that stuff will be coming along with you. And then eventually, because it's coming along, you'll be like, oh, well, this happened. And I didn't even put a lot of effort in this. And I know some people who are on this call have done vision boards like that. And you're like, yeah, but I didn't even study it. And I'm like, vision board is there. I don't know how to at least 90% things, but you didn't, because 1, it was in your subconscious. You were just focusing on 2 or 3 things. It happened. So,
yes.
So take a look at this, y'all. We're going to go into breakout rooms, 1 minute per person. Y'all know me. If I'm new to you, y'all, I snatch you out of rooms. So have a timekeeper, 1 minute per person. We're gonna put you in for 4 minutes, meaning give you time to get in. And based on what Mel shared just now, just share with individuals. So thanks, Mel. Mel has it in the chat. You could just take a quick screenshot. So are you doing this vision board experience? What are you thinking? Are you trying to visualize your project? Are you finding pathways and solutions? Are you calling in your dreams? Are you overcoming blocks? And just maybe share one sentence about that. It's a minute per person. Your rooms are open. And we have some people coming out. Go ahead, put on your cameras and just share a little bit about you being in your room in that space. Come on in, come on back. Hey, Kamika. Hey, Miss Jackie. Hey, Petra. Hey, Nisha. Hey, Miss Donna. Hey, Latasha. Hey, Diana. All right. Anything spectacular went down in the room and it was only 1 minute, other than the fact that you thought that I snatched you out the room.
No, you did.
But hey, visions are very specific, y'all. That's the thing about doing vision board. You just don't put any and everything on it. You have to be very specific. Jess, you want to share?
Yeah, I was telling them that I did the vision board last year, and it was very affirming to know that at the end of the year, I really did accomplish a lot of it. And it did hold me accountable during the year. Like, instead of me trying to remember what was my why again, I kind of saw it. Like, this is where I plan to be, or this is how I plan to feel. And it will be worth it if I just kind of push through a bit more. Yeah.
Absolutely. What about you, Avery? Yeah, you know it's gonna call on you. The camera on. Let's go.
For me, it was understanding that you're not alone. Other people are in the same position as you and having the same, journey as you, year to year. And it was just refreshing, to understand that people are in the same place and are like minded.
I'm telling you, y'all, it's 1 o'clock in Barbados. For those who are Barbados, it's 5 in Mel. And we on. And I'm so excited about the fact that all y'all took time out of your day. And I hope that you continue this trend, because we're very big on saying, well, I don't have time. You always have 45 minutes to hours to take time to invest in you. I'm not saying that work is not important, but you always have time to take some time for you. Yes, you have to be intentional. What about you, Miss Roberta? I don't know cameras on and fussy about this, so let's go.
It was great to share here Jessica's recall of last year, and I'm really excited to meet you guys and it's my first vision for us, so I'm really excited to follow on from our session in December and work towards May 2024. So I'm excited.
Awesome. What about you, Miss Diana? Which one are you calling in, connecting with your big dream, visualizing your project? Which one is yours?
I renewing my vision board. I'm looking forward to.
You hear the accent? I've got a couple of y'all in this group. I'm just saying.
I'm looking forward to, really looking forward to Sunday, by the way. Thank you for sharing, Mel. That was amazing, you sharing your story. It really kind of gave me goosebumps, as I strongly believe in vision boards. I really do. They are powerful. So it's about calling out my new set of goals that I will seek to accomplish. So that's what it's about for me. And also having an opportunity to interact and meet with some people of like mind, and just enjoying that time, really.
Awesome. All right, y'all. So one put in the chat, one word to describe today's session with Mel. Mel, any parting words before I go into some basic housekeeping so people will remember to check their emails? So I see a reflection. Reflection. Go ahead, Mel.
First of all, obviously a huge thank you for inviting me into your space, this incredible, powerful space that you always create, Dr. J. Always love to be around you, learn from you, just wonderful. And to meet all of you and be here at the beginning, I just want to say I feel so excited because I know what Dr. J provides and the journey you're going to go on. So I'm just excited for you. Knowing, you know, the expansion, the amplification that's going to happen for you. And it was just an honor to be here with you at this sacred point of creation.
And look at all the things in the chat. And Mel, as I'm hearing you talking about, okay, we really do have to do a vision board experience next year together. Like, we got to choose a location.
We have to. I literally had the same thought. So there's the sign.
Yeah, we do have to. So y'all, if I say next year we're going somewhere to do a vision board experience, don't look at me say where. It's because of the larger conversation that we have. Please.
Oh, now she just raised the bar. So I need to find that plane ticket and that hotel and that venue. Okay. We'll talk.
Awesome, refreshing, affirming, excitement, confirming.
Yes.
Y'all, I'm so excited, so proud of every single one of you of choosing to get into this space at this time. I want to do some really quick basic housekeeping so everybody knows what we're getting ready to do on Sunday. Obviously this is an experience, so it's 3 days. Our next time is going to be 7th, and then our post event is going to be the 21st. I think it's either going to be 10 a.m. or 2 p.m., but we'll just confirm that. We're going to be having a larger conversation on Sunday about how do you get into your vision, your goal planning, your goal setting, and then we're actually going to create a specific vision board. This is what your schedule is going to look like. So we start in terms of meet and greet at 9:30 in the morning. You'll get this in one of your emails. I know for some of you, your emails aren't working. Make sure you take us out of promotion, take us out of junk email. If you're not getting us, be sure to you can email me or Tasha if you want to put an email address in the chat so people can also drop us an email. If you have a new email address, don't be like me and have full storage, all 15 gigabytes full. So hence why you don't get much emails. So this is your schedule for Sunday meet and greet. We're going to envision crafting your year network opportunity. And if you're wondering where is lunch as your networking opportunity for those who want lunch on the space, we're a little bit more. Anything that says network opportunity is food. So learn to talk with your mouth full because we're going to be talking. We're going to be looking at visioning, process, your goal setting. We're going to get into our creative space as we are going to be doing networking. Shout out all of the Dominica retreat ladies who are going to be acting a fool on the vision board experience. Please do not sit down at the same table, but I know all of y'all will. A well-being experience. And for those who are entrepreneurs, we also have vendor spaces and vendor booths, so you get an opportunity to meet other entrepreneurs. This is your bring list. Be sure to bring at least 3 magazines, y'all. It'll be in the email, but I'm just making Latasha's job a little bit more easier, and I'm putting it here. Walk with your 3 magazines. Over the years, we've always provided magazines, and one of the things that has always been requested is more magazines that people want. Now, let me tell you, there's a flip to this. You may not use your own magazine though, because one of my biggest things is that a lot of us bring magazines that we envy, and you never put anything you envy on your vision board. Does that make sense to y'all? So sometimes we're looking at a visual, oh my gosh, I wish I could have that and how this person have. Sometimes you need to see something different in order for you to actually access your goals. But bring 3 magazines. It's time for you to go and ask anybody, y'all got any old magazines? We'll have a stack of magazines as well too. But you're bringing some so we can help you understand what are the things that you need to be looking at and what are the things you need to release. So you're not putting envy on your vision board. There's a semi-completed calendar and document. What do we mean by that? Latasha sent out an email 2 days ago or yesterday where we asked you to put what you want for your entire year. If you have not seen that as yet, and if Latasha's really, really quickly, she'll put the Google document right here. But go back and look at your email. We've sent you that. Please fill that out. We know that when you're reading, you're not going to be sure, but at least start having the conversations with yourself. Please bring a previous vision boards. I know some of you do not want to let go of your vision boards. You do not want to take them off of the wall, but you cannot hold on to something old to create something new. So bring that vision board that you've had up for the last 5 years and call in no names because we've worked on that. But at least walk with a vision board. If you've never done a vision board before, that's okay. Walk with your magazines, your semi-completed calendar. A document will be provided as well too, but we will send you the document before. Your best fit or your future fit. So some of you, not all of you like to dress up, but I like to dress up. Shout out to my stylist. We're working on a concoction. Wear what you love to wear. If you want to wear heels, all of that stuff, dress your best fit. Or as somebody said to me, they're wearing their future fit. They want to look like one of them rich people that ain't got no, that look like if they don't have no money. If that's your future fit, wear that. But know that we're giving you permission to go all out. And the last part, walk with an open mind. And for me, open mind doesn't mean that you're giving yourself permission just to do anything, but an open mind meaning, what is your vision? And I've been playing around with this SMARTer goals for years because I do not like the word realistic. There's nothing realistic in the world. There's everything that's relevant. There are a lot of things that were impossible that are now possible. So walk with that mind that allows you to be relevant to what you're trying to create, rather than thinking you need to walk into something that's realistic. This 10, 15 years ago was not realistic. Being able to connect with each other before we got into an event, being able to connect with Mel all the way overseas to now, being able to connect with Latasha, this was not possible. So one would say it wasn't a realistic goal 15 years. However, there was somebody who said that there was something about technology that we needed to ensure that we can make this relevant to people being able to communicate with each other. So please bring that open mind. We're not bringing a realistic mind, we're bringing a relevant mind to the goals and the visions that you're creating for 2024. Got it? All right, y'all, thank you so much. Thanks, Dre, technical team in the space, working really hard. We are going to have this as a replay, so check your emails tomorrow. So in case you wanted to run over some of the things that Mel was saying. Mel, thank you so much for jumping on, saying yes, and sharing your process of vision boards. And thank you, every single one of you. Come 9:30. I'm excited for Sunday, but remember, we started the work today. The work is not just on Sunday. We started it today. So if you're feeling inspired, run back that email that Latasha sent out yesterday and go write down what you plan to do for the year, just 2 or 3 things. And looking forward to seeing every single one of you on Sunday from about 9:30, 10. Bye, y'all.